The reason why you're not growing in the gym, it is because you are training too much. And we have been sold this lie by bodybuilders who are on steroids and even the golden era guys. They say that, oh, doing more volume, doing more sets, training more times per week, training even 2 times per day, it is the solution to going ahead and getting jacked and getting strong. And this whole video is your wake up call to go ahead and train less, and you will actually grow more. And you can probably relate to me that once you first started out in the gym, it was very motivating to go to the gym. You saw the results in the mirror, you were getting stronger each week, and it was all enjoyable. But then eventually, your progress just stagnates, or even it could have just went down. And the reason is because you plateaued. Your physique isn't getting better, you're not getting stronger on the lifts, which you're doing, and you just sort of plateaued and you don't know what to do. And I know the reason as to why you have plateaued because I was in this position so many times. I was plateauing for months, weeks, for a long time. I had plateaued in the gym. My lifts weren't going up. I wasn't gaining any more muscle, and I had just been stagnated. And I'm going to be explaining the reason why training less could actually make you grow more in this video. But I want you to know that my name is Calkers, I'm 17 years old, and I've been training for nearly 4 years. And I have both experience in weightlifting and in calisthenics. And my mission is to help as many young men to get into the gym and for them to actually start seeing results in the gym, to get stronger, build more muscle, look more attractive. And if you want to be a part of this movement, just make sure to like and subscribe. And now let's get on with the video. Alright, so the single best recovery hack, it is by actually training less. And once you're new to the gym and you like training in the gym, you might be inclined to go ahead and think, oh, the more I work out, the more days I train in the gym, the more sets that I do, I'm actually gonna go ahead and get bigger, right? Because if I go to the gym, I lift heavy weights, I do a bunch of workouts, then I'm just gonna get jacked, right? But no, that is not how it actually works. How it works is that your body actually grows when you're resting, right? It's crazy. And you might be thinking, okay, I already have some rest days in my routine. What is the difference, right? I already have 1 to 2 rest days per week. But this is for the people who actually go ahead and train hard, okay? And I feel like most people nowadays, especially, I feel like most people, they actually do train hard in the gym. They're going to failure, or at least 1 to 2 reps shy of failure, which is pretty close, right? And if you're training hard in the gym, you're going consistently, and even if you have rest days, you might be still under recovered. And it's not actually the muscles which only goes ahead and gets tired, right? It is actually your own nervous system, okay? And especially if you're training hard, you're doing a bunch of sets, you're doing a bunch of workouts, and you're training to failure, your body and your nervous system, it's going to be hard for them to go ahead and recover, right? Especially your nervous system, because the fatigue adds up, okay? If you've been training for weeks, months, years without really any sort of deload week, any sort of mTOR reset, your nervous system is actually super fatigued. And it's weird that by taking time off the gym, you actually get stronger in the gym. You build more muscle, you get more stronger just by taking time off of the gym. And even if you're training hard, if you're training close to failure, you could even benefit from just doing less sets in total. And no, I'm not some sort of preacher of Mike Menser. I don't think you only need 1 set to failure and that's all. But I still think you need anywhere from like 4 to 7, 8 hard sets per workout per muscle group, okay? I still think you should be training each muscle group 2 times per week, especially if the muscle group is lacking. And if you're training really close to failure, you're training honestly hard, you're training hard in the gym, then you could benefit from taking time off of the gym by doing an mTOR reset, by doing a deload week. A deload week basically being you come to the gym and you do less volume, you train with less intensity, and you just have a sort of easy week, okay? And an mTOR reset, which is what I did, and if you watched my recent first vlog with calisthenics, everything, I went ahead and explained that I was gonna go ahead and take an mTOR reset. And I've never really taken a reset like that before, where I'll purposely go ahead and not train. And guess what? Yesterday was my first workout after the mTOR reset. I haven't trained in the gym, did calisthenics, did any sort of resistance training for 9 days. And I literally went ahead and got stronger on most of my exercises, okay? On pretty much every single exercise which I did either more weight or more reps, even though I haven't been training for over 9 days. Crazy, right? And especially, this is for the people who are advanced beginners or they're intermediates. You've been training for a few months, you've been training for a year or two, and you just see that your progress isn't as good as it once was, right? And you should be going ahead and taking an mTOR reset or a deload week or anything like that. Or basically just do less volume at least and train less times per week. And really, if you've plateaued in the gym, there's nothing left to lose for you, okay? Because if you have plateaued in the gym, then you might as well just go ahead and try something new. And for most people, including for myself, I've actually seen better results. When I first started off training, I was doing calisthenics. I was training upward to like 5 to 6 times per week. And I honestly think that if you're a serious guy, you come into the gym with intensity, you love training, you love to go hard, you love to go ahead and train hard, stay consistent, all of that. Even if your diet is perfect, even if you're sleeping 8, 9 hours, that still could not be enough. And I really do think that most people need to be taking an mTOR reset. And if you're new to the gym, if you're not training that hard with intensity, you're not taking your sets close to failure, then yeah, you can go ahead and train 5, 6 times per week. You can be doing a ton of volume, and that's not actually going to be as fatiguing for you. But I really do think that training to failure, going hard on your workouts, and that is going to give you way better results than if you kind of just like half-assed it. You didn't go ahead and train that hard. You just go do a bunch of sets. You're just kind of like going through the motions, let's say. You're not going to be going ahead and seeing really good results. So, whole premise of this video, go ahead and implement more deload weeks. Implement an mTOR reset, where basically you go ahead and detrain, okay? Instead of training, you go ahead and not train for a few days. It sucks, whatever. If you love going to the gym, this is going to be a little bit hard for you. But if I managed to do it, you can do it as well. And you really should be going ahead and implementing deload weeks and rest days and all that kind of stuff into your routine, because it is not an optional thing. It is literally a part of your program, or at least it should be. But if you are new to training, you're new to the gym, you might be new to working out, and you don't have any sort of equipment, you might not have a gym membership, that is all okay, because in the description, I have a home workout program made for you, and by following along, you will get stronger, you will build muscle, all by training at home with no equipment needed whatsoever. And if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for new uploads to come.